It's a show all about fiber, and we do go the extra mile. And yes, this is a real live goat. And I'm just delighted to welcome Sunshine and Sunshine's keeper, Glennis, to the show because we want to know about fiber, and this is the best way. I'm not sure that we've got this goat mic'd, so we'll have to get you to do the speaking. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Linda.
And this is just a beautiful animal. And is this a baby one, or do they get bigger?
They do get bigger, yes. This is about a year old, and they do keep growing until they're about 2.
Okay, do they get this big, or how big?
Oh, about yay big,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. Well-behaved goat. Is this its first appearance on television?
This is its first time off the farm, yes.
Oh, hey, this is big-time stuff. This is good. This is good. Okay. And I love the curly locks. So has this ever been sheared yet? Or is this
Yes, she has.
Okay.
She was sheared in March. This is an angora goat, and that's where all your mohair comes from.
Okay, so just a minute, where does angora come from then?
The angora comes from rabbits.
Oh, of course.
The fiber angora comes from rabbits.
Of course. Okay, so this is mohair goat. So.
This is the mohair from an angora goat. And you can see how it grows here.
Okay.
You can see how fine it is and how it comes
silky,
out in locks.
Very silky, yeah.
It comes out in locks. The gray is just where it's dirty. The white is the natural color.
Okay, yeah.
So after it's been sheared and the fiber's been washed, it all comes out very white.
Beautiful. You are a beautiful specimen of a goat. And I'm so happy to have you on the show. Yeah, exactly. And well-behaved.
She's not doing too bad.
Yeah. How many of these would you have?
I run a herd of about 60 of them.
Oh, wow.
So some of them are big bucks and some of them are little guys like this.
Yeah. Oh, they are very sweet. They're called kids, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, okay. These are
Goats
wonderful
are
kids.
bucks and does and kids.
Okay. Well, shall we say this is it for you because we want to see what else that we can do with you? I mean, I guess, do they make pets? Do people have goats for pets?
They can make pets. The biggest problem with them being pets is that they have to be sheared all the time. They're sheared twice a year, so it creates a problem for anybody that doesn't know what to expect.
Yeah. So it's better that you have a whole herd of them and you treat them like
goats like
animals.
to be in groups.
Yeah.
And she's got good coverage for a goat. She likes down on her head, on her face.
Okay.
And her coverage right down to her hoof.
She's kind of interested in me, but she's kind of sniffing away. But they don't bite or they don't do anything spit or they don't do anything bad.
They don't spit. No.
Okay. Well, before she decides to use our facilities, maybe we should just sort of say that she should go back. Okay. Nice goat.
Should be good.
Okay, thank you, goat. All right. She really likes to stay. She'd like to stay. I can see this. Yeah. She's not keen.
She's doing very well.
She's doing really well. Good job, goat. Good job. Her name was Sunshine, wasn't it?
Yes, Spring Harvest Sunshine.
Okay. So this is what it looks like. And you said goats are the most efficient producers of fiber?
Yes, they are. Angora goats are because they are sheared twice a year. Their hair grows much like a human hair, about an inch a month.
Okay.
So you'll get 2 shearings like this a year.
Okay.
And it's about 5-6 inches long.
Okay, yeah. And so like a sheep only gets sheared once a year.
That's
then.
right, yeah. Most animals
and this is
are
the amount
only
that
once.
you'd get from one goat.
This is one shearing, from one goat.
Yeah. All right.
Which is roughly 5-6 pounds.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so then you're going to wash that, and that's going to look like this.
And then it comes out soft and silky like this.
Oh, I just love the feel of that and the look of that. That's just...
And a lot of the doll people like this.
I can see that on dolls right away.
And Santa beards.
Santas would be great, yeah. So that is wonderful. Does this come in colors?
Natural colors, there are a few in Canada, not too many. I have a couple of them.
So this is the natural color
This is one of them.
Okay.
This is the natural color, And you can see sometimes it gets bleached on the end where it's darker in the middle.
Sure. It's like hair.
It's just the way the animal is,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, but you could also dye it if you wanted.
You can dye it too, It takes the dye very well.
And then you can straighten it all out. And
you can card it and make it into roving, and that's what you use for spinning.
Sure. And of course, you could felt with that and do all kinds of things with that too.
You can do all kinds of stuff with it.
You do have some felt here that I see that you could go that way. So, and you haven't done this, but you could send it out to get commercially felted.
Yes, you can. Yeah. This is just a sheet of mohair felt.
Yeah.
And you can do all kinds of crafts out of it.
Sure. I can see lots of uses for that too.
Yeah, vests and purses.
Give me the scoop on mohair versus wool. So what's the difference in the two?
Well, it's 2 different animals, 2 different fiber structures.
Sure.
Wool has the barbs all the way up the shaft of the fiber.
Yes.
And mohair doesn't. It's
Okay.
very silky fiber, so it doesn't hold together like a wool does.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of times you have mixes of mohair and wool, because you need something to kind of hold it together.
Okay, but warmth-wise, they're both the same.
Warmth-wise, they're both the same. Mohair is actually a stronger fiber than wool, so it will last better.
Sure.
That's a
All
whole
right, so
lot softer.
this is very, very soft, and this is...
This is 100% mohair yarn,
Mm-hmm.
and this vest is as well.
That you've knit from that.
Yeah,
So
and say it has the elastic in it to hold it around the bottom part,
Sure,
because it wouldn't hold the shape by itself.
Because it's so soft. So then you put it with some wool. So
Yeah,
here's wool
and this
mohair.
is 70% mohair and 30% wool.
Okay.
There's a scarf made out of it, and I also do mitts and toques out of it that are
so just
thrummed with mohair.
Give me a story on what this is about.
These are actually leg warmers, or it will be.
Okay, so that's going to get sewn
And the
together.
mohair is on the inside. It's called thrumming.
Okay, and that means
And,
you take little...
You take little
bunches
pieces
of this?
of the roving,
Okay.
and you just knit it in
as you're knitting.
That's where all the white spots
I
are.
like the polka dot effect. Anyway, so this is good. So, and you've done the same thing with these mitts. So have a look at this. I mean, and when I put my hand in there, is that nice and
And
soft?
the toques are the same way too.
Yes, I like that. So you could have it reversible either way.
That's right. We start out with Halloween this way, and then we get serious about winter after
All right,
that.
and then you wear it that way.
Yeah.
That is really neat. I like that idea. So, all right, let's just go quickly then through. So when you do the socks, you wouldn't do them pure mohair. Then you would do
They've
some
got
wool.
about 10% spandex in them. It's
Okay.
just mohair and
Oh,
spandex.
okay. So
The
there.
spandex acts like the wool to
Sure.
hold it together.
Sure.
And I have the commercial sock machine that makes those.
Okay. And then you can knit it.
And then you can knit. And then you can felt.
And then you can felt. Once you've got it knitted, you can felt it. So does it felt as nicely as wool then?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's a little more effort,
Okay.
but it does end up the same.
You said you could also have it in bats, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I have
So-
mohair batting, and we've been making vests out of that
Okay.
lined with the batting.
Or you could just have it as I think I just sort of want this. I think I could have this on my garments and whatever. So, and then of course you
that's
can eat
just
these
a tan
things too.
type.
So,
yes, goat meat is a very lean meat,
In
very
fact,
heart smart meat.
and didn't you say that it's the most
It's the most
more goat
more
meat is
goat
eaten?
meat eaten in the world than beef.
Ah,
All the Mediterranean, European, African countries all have goats. They don't
okay.
have the big
I don't know
cows.
why I didn't understand about goats before, but thank you for cluing me in. This is great, Glennis. I've
Thank
learned a
you.
lot about goats, and obviously you're doing well. This is what you do, isn't it?
This is what I do, yeah.
Okay, this is wonderful. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And don't you go away because we got lots of good stuff coming up.
Guests of our show stay at Travel Lodge. Nice rooms, great people. Models provided by Chan International. #1 in personal development training, modeling, and acting.
Live goat is a hard act to follow, but we do have this is Sunshine's brother here, and it could be made into many wonderful things. And joining me to help me work it out is Bev Armstrong, who's obsessed sewer, aren't you?
I am.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
and you
totally.
want to touch this and feel this.
Oh, it's so wonderful. Can you imagine a collar on a cold winter
Collar
day?
would be lovely.
Cuffs.
Actually,
Oh,
the whole
beautiful.
vest would be rather lovely too.
That would be great.
So what has happened is that there's not enough of these goats to go around, so they've made artificial. And this is Sherpa with suede on it. So, I mean, it comes 60 inches wide. Isn't that beautiful?
That's
when you
better
think of,
than a little goat.
Yeah. So you could use this to trim, but you could use this for the main body.
Yes.
So you could use that or the red one. I think you'd like the red one.
This is
We call this reversible sueded chinchilla. So it's kind of soft like chinchillas. And then it's kind of sueded like the suede. So, I mean, it does make just a beautiful fabric. But, of course, it's washable. This is more washable than this, but this is certainly washable by hand.
Right.
Do you want to see this? What this
I
looks like
would
on a
love
model?
to see
Okay,
that on a model.
And here we go. So it really does work out beautifully well. I couldn't decide which side I liked best for this. So I thought, well, maybe you could just reverse it too.
That's
so
perfect.
shall we take this one off and reverse? Because who's to say which is the better side?
So daytime one way, evening the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Isn't
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
perfect?
No, it is
Really
rather
sassy.
lovely.
Yes.
Oh, it's sassy. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That is great.
So really what we have to decide is a pattern.
Yes, and you know, your patterns are perfect because there's so few pieces.
That's true.
And the less pieces, the better.
That's
But as you like,
a little bit of fitting is nice.
yeah,
So,
because you don't want it too boxy.
So this is one I call the urban jacket, and it does work well with sleeves if you want, but vests are so simple and so easy to wear that I do like to do it in a vest.
That's right.
So that would be, you cut this out. When you cut this kind of stuff out, you don't kind of cut right through it just as you wouldn't cut right through this because you'd have the hairs all cutting out,
Right.
Falling out. So you cut the leather side or you cut this side, and then you cut it gently so that you don't get a whole bunch of...
So use your nice sharp scissors
Yes,
with
and
a
just
bit of
kinda
a point.
Kind of skim on just the leather part of it. And this, of
Right.
course, isn't leather, but
No,
that's what you do.
Works the same.
Yeah. So,
And then when you're sewing, needles?
well, you can use a
change your
leather needle. It's a good idea.
Yes.
A denim needle might work as well.
Right.
Try it on your machine because, again, you don't know. It's nice and soft, so it might just sew with your regular needle.
It might.
I don't
yeah,
often
a nice
mention to my
fine one.
machine that I'm changing.
Ah.
And you see, if you don't tell it, it might not
It
realize.
won't
No,
That's right.
So a couple of good seam finishes are you could just sew fluffy sides together and just stitch. And then
That's
that
beautiful.
would open
That's-
flat.
yeah.
And then top stitch it down. One thing that bothered me when I started working with this is that there's that color, that sort of core color, and it looks like I drew around it all with ink, and of course you would never do that.
No.
And I thought, oh, I don't like that, but it's part of the fabric, so I just kind of ignore it now, and it goes away, and I don't see it so much. So,
You don't see it once it's all
no,
fluffed
no,
out.
but you
No.
would never use a felt pen on
No,
something
that's
like
right.
that.
But you could use a variation.
Yes,
here.
this is kind of a neat idea. If you want to, this is the simplest. Flip it and top stitch it. But if you want to go to this one, then you would take off your seam allowance because, of course, there's 3/8 of an inch seam allowance on this one and on this one. So if you put those seam allowances together, they would become this. So I can put the edge along there and then just sort of let that fluff out and then top stitch there and top stitch again. And I would use a bit longer stitch than normal.
Yes.
If you use too small a stitch, it's like perforating it and it might want to kind of pull apart. So having said that, then you're going to sew your seams, and we did this one so it would be nice on the inside as well as the outside.
beautiful?
An easy way to finish the front is just to flip that back and top stitch it. So that would be it. The sleeve is done exactly the same way. You would flip that back and top stitch it. Of course, trimming that off, and you can't really turn it a whole lot because it just doesn't want to bend, but you
No.
just bend it like it. Like,
But you don't need to finish it.
no, no, you could leave it. You
That's
could leave it.
right.
Yeah,
It's
you could leave
beautiful
it.
that way.
In fact, what you could do is
Oh, now we're talking.
put some of this on top. I mean, does this
Yes.
now look so?
And make it as short or
Oh,
as
yeah,
long.
yes, as you want it. So,
That's
yes, you could
so
combine the
beautiful.
two.
Or a collar.
A collar, a little stand collar is a nice little collar to do. So if you just put the right sides, well, you decide what's right side. I put on the inside, stitch that, flip that up, and then this top stitches, trimming out your corner, of course, that top stitches or hand stitches, and that's a nice little cuddly, fuzzy collar to go around. On this one, I just did a one-layer one, which is kind of interesting, too. It doesn't have to be 2 layers.
And that would be beautiful on this
Sure.
with the chinchilla also.
Sure.
And
So-
without having to finish the edges, it makes it so quick and easy.
Isn't it? And again, make this detachable so you could wear this on any number of these vests. So
Cut it out tonight, wear it tomorrow.
yeah. Actually, the Glenn was telling me that people use these for chaps, too, so you could actually use this for chaps. I
That's
hadn't even
right.
thought the fuzzy side out, so there's lots of ways to use that.
Costumes.
And yeah, costumes and hair. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
just perfect for hair. so,
Perfect,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. All right. Well, I think you're all set to go ahead and do this.
I am. Let's get started.
Okay. Oh, I didn't say you could have put a zipper in it, too, but you don't have to.
Right.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you.
Okay. We got to go because there's more good stuff. In fact, I'm on the road again. You know, if there's anything else that I would really have liked to have done in my life, and there's still time, I know, it's the hooking business. And I'm here amongst a whole group of hookers at their what is this? Welcome, Cease.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks for inviting me.
This is our annual Rug Hooking Guild tea, where we demonstrate our craft, and we welcome the public in to look at all our projects that we worked on over the year.
And some of them might get hooked again.
Some of them will come again, we hope, yes.
This is good. So you've taken this, you've been at this 20 years, haven't you?
I have,
yeah.
yes.
And you started from very traditional, and now...
It's branched out, and you'll see that the colors have brightened up, the interpretation.
I think people are always just thinking that hooking is traditional, you put it on the floor, and the chair covers and whatever, and that's what it started as.
That's right. And so that's still very beautiful.
Oh, yes,
There's
of
some
course.
very beautiful floor rugs and traditional patterns.
Well, let's have a look at some of them.
Okay.
I do love this one. I do love bright colors and things.
Well, thank you very much. That's one of my pieces.
What did you know? Yeah. It is a pattern, is it?
It's a pattern that was stamped on a backing like linen or burlap.
Okay.
I dyed my own wool for this so that I can get the bright colors. A lot of people use traditional old material cut up skirts and things, but I like to use the new so that I get the colors.
Sure.
And
it's a beauty. You probably have judged these kind of things. How do you tell? I mean, do they all have to be the same?
Well, there's different cuts, so that the narrower the cut, the finer the rug. So when you look at this, it's a very narrow. You usually hook it as high as it is wide.
Okay.
So when you get into a wider cut, it gets thicker and heavier, and it doesn't look quite as fine.
But of course, there's no rules. I know
no rules.
You'd say some of these could be higher and lower and all this kind of stuff.
They could. It gives it character.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at some of the other things then. So there's just such a variety. Oh, how about this one? That's obviously not a pattern.
No, this is Laurie's tribute to her mother. That's her mother, of course. Her mother was an artist, and that was her dog, and these are her favorite things.
Yeah, it's a perfect way to just preserve something like that.
It's wonderful, yes. And it looks so much like her.
Oh, really? Isn't that great? Oh, looking bright colors. Look at this. I do like this. Is, I bet, yours.
This is mine. This is my romance series. I don't know what prompted me to do this project, but I just got
The devil makes you do a lot of things, I think.
Yes. And I just wanted to do the bright colors, and just for fun. It was a fun project that can grow on forever, can't it?
Oh, yeah. I can see this. Actually, I like this idea. The cats, of course, are good. But you mentioned that these both started with the same piece of...
Same pattern, same background. It was a class that we took together, and Laurie did hers in a more primitive and traditional manner.
Yeah.
I wanted to liven mine up because, of course, I like the bright colors.
And I think it's with any art form, is that you put your own self into it and you make such a completely different look with the same pattern, which is what I love. So is that traditional? That looks just like Nova Scotia.
This is a Nova Scotia East Coast type, and she's added a little bit of embellishments with the little clothes pegs and little beads. And
perfect. So a lot of these are patterns, but then you can take your own and do your own.
Well, you could see 10 patterns done by 10 different people, and they will all look different.
Oh, there's the same pattern again?
Same one, very similar, and she's added little things. Yes, it's more of a soft color, and probably a finer cut, so it's more looks finer.
Sure. And the bright colors, and this is obviously again then
that was a tribute to her grandchildren.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, and the chicken over there, I love that.
The chicken, now she used added yarns. A lot of people are adding different
just more texture. It looks very feathery.
This is good. Knitting yarn, yes.
Oh, there's just so much. We've got to go over here and see some more. Come on, let's
go
and see these ones. Oh, Cease, I love these. Well, this one is so special. Tell me the story of this.
That's Shirley's piece. Her granddaughter did the painting, and she just took it and put it onto a piece of backing and got her bright colors out and did her own hooking.
She did such a good job.
It's beautiful.
And it's a win-win. I'm sure the granddaughter's delighted and the grandmother's
Absolutely.
Oh, it's happy time.
It is happy.
Okay, you got to show me what you're working on, because I know you've got some special project.
I do.
Okay. Oh, Cease, I'm liking this, and I like bright colors too. It looks kind of like a mola. Is that what it is?
It is a pattern based on a mola. It's one of my assignments for teaching a class in June.
And you go all over the place teaching, don't you?
This is a teacher's workshop in Oregon, and it's a workshop for teachers.
Great.
And hopefully we come back and teach our students the techniques.
Sure.
So I tried to get the feeling that a mola is of high and low and cutaway embroidery.
Yeah. And it is a very good deflection. I mean, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yes, I hope so.
This is just sitting there. That's ready to...
That's where I've started.
Oh, okay.
And I've dyed my own wool for this so that I could get the bright colors. We just pull up the loops from underneath and just keep going.
In every one of those holes, then you just...
That's
this
right.
is very therapeutic, isn't it?
It's very therapeutic.
Yeah. Oh, I can see that this is very contagious. I want to start to do that already.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay, let's go and see some more.
Okay,
great.
This is Fran. Fran has got the claim to fame as our oldest hooker in our guild.
Oh, wonderful. You've been doing this for a lot of years then.
Oh, for a lot of years. I'm 90 now, you know.
Oh, great.
I've been looking for 40 years, I guess.
And you're not using glasses, I see.
No.
So that's wonderful.
Fran also started our guild. She was one of the few women who began our guilds.
Yes. And so you still come regularly. And what do you mean? You're doing a great big rug. My goodness.
It's a fairly big one,
Yeah, you don't tackle small little things.
Well, no.
And I suppose you don't run out of customers for these either.
Oh, my kids have put their dibs on every one of them.
I bet.
Mom, that would look awfully good in my house.
Yes. Well, Steve said that you may have the claim to fame of being the oldest hooker in Canada, or the oldest hooker in Western Canada for sure.
Western, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is great, and it's wonderful to meet you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Sure. And thank you, Cease, for this lovely afternoon.
Thank you.
Among the hookers of the world. This is great. Okay, thanks. Keep those letters and emails coming. I love to get them, and I love to get your pictures and see what kind of things you've done from seeing things on the show, what's inspired you. So I've got a great one here, and it says, "Hi, Linda. I'm sending you some photos of a few of our completed projects from the Ocala, Florida chapter of the ASG. We enjoyed your visit and all the inspiration you gave us in the short time we spent viewing your trunk show during our January retreat here in Florida." Like, I'm not stupid. Florida's warm. I'm going to go there in January. "I'm just a bag lady fanatic. We've had bag exchanges at our ASG meetings. In attached photos, you see two of the coats I made. The first was a New York coat to commemorate my granddaughter's trip to New York. My second coat is a Florida theme. I used the Florida green of our local department store bags. My stash of bags is now sorted into colors and themes, and I hope to do more and do another sit and sew with ASG friends." And that's from Sue of the ASG Ocala, Florida chapter. That was great, Sue, and I hope that's inspired you. Watch at the end of the show for the address, and I want to hear from you, too. Bye for now.
To receive the companion book for this series with all of the project details, send $19.98 to the address on your screen or call 1-888-McPhee or visit us on the web at www.mcpheeworkshop.com. Sponsored in part by Janome, quality sewing machines since 1921. And by Rowenta, the garment care experts, meeting the needs of the sewing enthusiast for over 100 years with high-performance irons, steamers, steam generators, and ironing boards. And Wonderfill Specialty Threads, thread for the way you sew. And by the Woolen Mill Store, your source for quality fabrics and more, featuring the largest selection of wool and wool blend. Yardage from Pendleton Woolen Mills. And by Horn of America. Experience quality, innovative ideas, and customer service. And Creative Festival, bursting at the seams with hundreds of industry experts, conference classes, exhibits, and more. Experience creativity in the making.